What are you chasing away there, brother?
This ripped ass. And it was the worst shit on
I can see it. It's in there.
It's in my mouth.
Okay. Sorry about that. That was like no fault of our own except for Pookie. But Pookie's he's been eating chili or what you got? Okra?
I don't know what it was.
What did you have to eat about 18 hours ago? Between
tuna fish. Tuna.
There you go. There you go. Good stuff.
Woo.
So we were talking about what's up, Laura? I don't think I've seen you before. Thank you for showing up and hanging out with us. We just had a little technical snafu there. It kind of happens. It's been happening the last couple of weeks.
Did you unmute the button?
I did. Everything's unmuted. Everything's good.
Okay. Someone said I have no sound.
You have no sound.
Math Dave.
I am
no
okay.
Sound.
Check. My levels are up. So,
I hear
check
you.
your settings. Maybe refresh or something. But yeah, we're back. We were talking about France. Back like scoliosis. So let's talk about the most. I think this might be. These guys were in jail for nonviolent type crimes. They broke out of jail and they went to a freaking IHOP, and I think that's what they meant to do.
Oh, that's awesome.
Newport News, New Jersey, I'm guessing.
Newport News is Virginia, I think.
Yeah. So two inmates tunneled through their jail cell wall and escaped this Monday afternoon, and law enforcement officials found them a couple of hours later in an IHOP restaurant in Hampton. John Michael Garza, age 37, and Arlie Von Nemo, age 43, were missing from a routine head count at the Newport News Jail Annex about 7:15 p.m. on Monday. Jail staff later discovered that they had burrowed through a wall in their jail cell, and the tunnel led to the exterior of the building, and the men made it over the surrounding security wall, and they went to IHOP. They dug a hole using tools made from a toothbrush and a metal object, is what the police said. That allowed them to exploit a construction design weakness in the wall. Then they dug through the untied rebar between a layer of brick and cinder block, and then they used the rebar to dig through the rest of the wall. Here's the funny part. Newport News staff and the sheriff's office are, quote, reviewing and formulating ways to mitigate the weakness in the jail as a result of the escape. Due to the fact that this weakness presents itself throughout the facilities, and until all weaknesses are identified and secured, we will not discuss the situation further for security reasons. They just told how it happened, the methodology in which it happened, and then they said, we're not going to talk about it because we don't want anybody else to know. I'm guessing maybe the inmates that are still in the facility don't know. Maybe they do. Well, they probably know.
Well, my mom is a corrections does corrections, and they do not let the inmates, detainees, whatever you want to call them, no news, zero news. They're not allowed to access the news.
No news at all, or no current news?
No. Well, I mean, the news they get is from their family on the phone. If they are talking on the phone, did you hear about this? And she's normally like having to calm them down, like, calm down.
What if they had a phone up their? What if they had a phone up their butt?
Is this a prison or is it a jailhouse? That's the question.
Let me see. Jail. It says jail.
So that's just a detention center. That's all it is.
Yeah.
There's no
not
cell
a prison.
phones up, but
it's not a prison.
No. Detention center is like, oh, I got a DUI. I'm waiting for the judge to come and hear me out or some crap like that. You don't got that. Them guys were just like hungry. They're
like, fuck it, man. You want some IHOP? But dude, I want some IHOP. How long does it take you to pick through a fucking cinder block wall with a toothbrush? And then once you get to the rebar, you can use that rebar to break shit loose. That's a metal object. That'll go wet a lot better.
Just the typical detention center, COs not paying attention to shit because they're paid like $30,000 a year just to sit and watch, babysit. That's all they do. They're just babysitters. At that point. They're not corrections officers, really. They're just detention. I mean, their job is just to make sure you don't kill yourself before you get to the jail. To the court.
Yeah, that kind of worked out for Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
But it just floors me, man. The quote: "Due to the fact that this weakness presents itself throughout the facilities, and until all weaknesses are identified and secured, we're not going to discuss this matter any further."
After you told us.
Thank you. So Garza, so let's talk about the two prisoners. Garza of Hampton had been in jail since December 19th on charges of contempt of court, probation violations, and failure to appear. Nemo, not the Nemo that's associated with our station, is from Gloucester, had been in custody since October 7th on charges including credit card fraud, credit card larceny, forgery, possession of burglary tools, grand larceny, contempt of court, and a probation violation. So they're not killers.
No. That's the difference between the pen and the jailhouse. There's a big difference between this.
Now, if this story had come out of Joliet Prison in Illinois, I'd be concerned. Because there's some bad actors in Joliet.
Or Rikers.
Or Rikers, or anywhere else. Or whatever the Supermax in Colorado.
Leavenworth, all them. Yeah, got some problems going on. Bugs Bunny, I think I made a wrong turn in Albuquerque. I'm at the
I mean, how long would it take you, if I built a cinder block wall, how long would it take you to pick through, the grout and remove rocks?
Not long.
With a toothbrush? A plastic-ass toothbrush?
Not long.
You don't think, like, a day?
Give me a fire source, and I can turn those.
No, you're in jail, dude. You got nothing but a shitter, maybe a sink, and your rack, and a toothbrush.
And I can rub some sticks together, make some fire. And
there's no fire. Get rid of the fire thing. You ain't getting no fire. Fire.
I was just saying, these guys can like they will light cigarettes up. My mom says, I don't know how they light cigarettes up, but they'll light cigarettes up.
Man,
I don't know how they're getting the cigarettes unless they're stealing them from the COs or whatever it is. But I mean, they're sitting there all of a sudden smelling smoke. Like, where the hell is that coming from? And
back in the day, there was just like detainees having sex with the guards, and now they're breaking out and going to IHOP. Man, what's this world coming to?
You know how they really did it? They divided by zero.
Okay. There's math involved here, dude. Don't make me bust out my scientific calculator and figure out.
They divided by zero, and a hole appeared in the wall.
That's some funny shit.
Andy Dufresne. I lit a cigarette with a toothbrush, paperclip, foil, and electrical outlet. There you go.
You could have gotten rid of the toothbrush and possibly the foil and just like stuck that paperclip in there, and then that shit gets hot.
I'm just saying, you get that plastic that they give you and you heat it up, cool it down real quick, and that shit get hard to where you can just chisel. You can make a shank with that, no?
You can have a tempered piece of metal if you can heat it.
Oh yeah, well, you gotta quench it.
That's what the toilet's for.
They're in there smacking. It's like a full blown freaking blacksmith. There's ting ting ting. Guards are just like,
what the hell is that noise? I don't know, sir. I don't hear nothing. Ting,
like
ting.
Ernest. Freaking Ernest goes to jail. Shit, like I got an AR-15.
2 staples and 2 AAA batteries. And a little torch pipe here.
You would be surprised.
I don't know, man. I was in jail once.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, I'll talk about it, dude. I really did a really bad forgery job on vehicle registration in Chicago.
Oh yeah, you did.
I have talked about this.
You did.
I spent the night in jail, and I woke up in the next morning with the shittiest croissant, I guess. It had fucking almonds on it, and it was hard as fuck, and the hottest ass cup of coffee ever in my life. That was boiling, and that experience cost me $135, and they impounded my car, and the fee for recovering my car was like $600 or $700, which was more than the worth of my car. So I went to the impound lot. I got all my personal effects out of the car and then left. And the entire fine from the judge was like $135. It was nothing. At the time, it was everything because I was like fucking 17 years old. So if you're in Philadelphia, anybody in Philadelphia, we've got some listeners in Philadelphia. I know we do. We have former hosts in Philadelphia.
I heard they got some good sandwiches up that way.
They do. I heard the Philly cheesesteak is really making a presence in the sandwich world. But oh my gosh, yeah, we're out of order here. Over the past 20 years, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania has become home to the largest decline in women having babies. Premature births and low birth weight are prevalent now, and then babies, die. Now a new program has been announced where pregnant women in Philadelphia will be paid to be pregnant. $1,000 a month as a part of a trial program hoping to lower infant mortality rates in the city. Starting next year, 2024, 250 expectant mothers will receive a no-strings-attached payment from their third month of pregnancy through their baby's first birthday.
Oh, Lord.
Have you wrapped your head around this yet?
No. You keep going.
Okay. The grand total per expectant mom, I did the math because I do math, will be somewhere around $18,000 depending on when the baby is born. The pilot program, known as the Philly Joy Bank, will operate in the areas of the city where the highest rates of in the areas of the city with the highest low birth rates. Cobbs Creek, Strawberry Mansion, and Nicetown, Tioga. Tioga? Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your city. According to niche.com, all three of these areas are predominantly African American, with a relatively low median household income rates. The thought process with this program is that a pregnant family with a little extra cash stands a better chance for a successful, healthier pregnancy than those that are struggling for cash. According to this article, the program needs to raise $6 million to be fully funded. According to my math, 250 women, all carrying a baby to its normal term, will net them about $18,000 each for a total of about $4.5 million. This means it'll cost $1.5 million to administer the trial program. Something smells fishy to me.
Is it the tuna?
No, I'm wondering why I always go negative when it comes to like a government program.
Oh, well,
the government, we're here to help. So they're going to pay women to be pregnant, 250 of them, from 3 months all the way until the baby's first birthday, in areas that are predominantly black. This picture that you're seeing on the screen is the advertising picture for this program, which shows
I got money.
a white lady. She's white. These areas are like, it's not even close. It's like 97% black, 85% black.
I don't know. I just don't like the idea. They're trying to do programs like this in other countries where their birth rate has become so low. Like, I'm sorry, your city policy sucks, and no one wants to have kids because they can't afford to have kids. Then
They They choose not to have kids.
Yeah, they choose not to have kids because all right, like me, for instance, I don't want kids because I like my money and I like my toys and I like to just I'm a grown man child. That's the reason why I never wanted children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I want to buy this, I can do that. I don't have to worry about it. That's just me at that point. But just imagine struggling in the inner city somewhere or anywhere where you're like paycheck to paycheck. The freaking rent's like freaking $9,000 a month. You're barely making it by. Do you want to add a burden onto your? Do you want that extra burden? Are they going to continue paying for that child once it becomes viable at that point?
They're not. But I do agree with the program in so much as, and this is Kaz talking here, that these are predominantly low-income areas, minority families that would not have. And I'm gonna say this as assuming that everyone makes good decisions. Let's assume that everyone makes a good decision. You are pregnant. If you're a woman, you're pregnant because men can't get pregnant. I don't care what the media says. If you're a woman and you're pregnant, if you have an extra $1,000 a month, it appears to me that the goal of this program is that these people are going to make good decisions and they're going to eat well. They're going to take care of themselves better with this extra money. What's interesting is that it stops after the baby's first birthday. So what happens after the baby's first birthday when you don't have that extra $1,000 a month? What's going to happen? I have no idea.
WIC and SNAP, all the other benefits.
I mean, if you're low income, you're going to have all of these governmental, both local and federal benefits to be able to feed your family off of. But it's, I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on this. I think it's a good program just to see.
Oh, I don't have no problem helping women out. Don't get me wrong with that.
I've got no problem with helping anybody out.
Anyone out, yes. But people will learn how to abuse the system. They will freaking learn how to abuse it.
How will they game the system? I don't know. Do they have to go to like a monthly checkup? Yes, you're still pregnant. Okay, here's your check. Yes, you're still pregnant. Here's $1,000. And what do they do? I don't know what these folks do. What their day-to-day life is. A lot of their the median income in a lot of these areas are under $30,000 a year, and this is Philadelphia and.
I don't know how
Pennsylvania loves. Pennsylvania is the land of the state tax, one of the highest. Oh, it is the highest tax.
The highest. I'm from Pennsylvania. That's the crazy part. I was born and raised in Pennsylvania. I had to escape that shit. And that was nuts. But like, the government needs to step back on stuff. Sometimes they just. Oh God, I don't even know where to go with this without sounding like an asshole. Like, really don't. Like, I'm all about helping people. Help people. There's churches, there's food banks, there's there's nonprofits. The government don't need to be paying people to have kids. They don't need to do that. And if that's the case, then you need to look at your policies within your city and realize, like, hey, our policies are fucking our people up.
And I think they mask it behind there's a lot of low birth weight here. Is that because people are not making a lot of money? Let's get them more money so they can make the decision to feed their bodies more and have a healthier baby, and then feed that baby from 0 to 1 year and make sure that they have a lot of, nutrients and whatever. Is that what's going to happen? And that's where the question in my mind happens. Is this really what's going to happen? Is this what they hope is going to happen? And I think that's why the sample size is so small. 250. That's it. 250 people, women, are going to get $1,000 a month.
What WIC is for. That's what WIC was designed for, was to help women.
I think they call it SNAP. Like SNAP here in Texas.
SNAP and WIC are two different things.
Are they two different? Okay.
SNAP is like your food stamps, is traditional food stamps.
Okay.
WIC is for like women, infants. I think it stands for women, infants, children, or something like that. Yeah. So like up until the child hits a certain age, you get like the like I grew up on the canned was it Juicy Juice or whatever it was.
God, sugar juice, yeah.
Yeah, all this stuff like cheese, peanut butter, like government cheese, like shit like that. That's like how like I was raised on that crap because my mom relied on the WIC program. Like I will never say like some of these government programs don't work out because I'm here today because of some I would have starved to death.
In that bubble of glory.
Yes, in my bubble of glory. But I mean, I have no problem with help like these little like California's talking about doing crazy shit. You hear like all this place is doing. This isn't the
only place. I mean, this happens in the United States, Canada, a whole bunch of different communities in the United States. This is just the one that made the news, and it was weird to me. I think what was weird to me the most was not that the program exists, but they're talking about
just that image.
they're talking about. Black women in black neighborhoods having underweight babies, and they're trying to make it better, and they have a picture of a white pregnant woman with a bunch of $100 bills in her fucking belly.
That right there, that's how propaganda works.
This is the
that's psyop shit.
Psyop.
It's a psyop. I don't like water. Turn into frogs.
The frogs are gay because. So you've heard we're gonna change the story just because we have a bunch of stories left. We don't have to get through them all, but I'd like to. Have you seen Blood and Honey? Do you go out to see movies?
No, I don't do the movie thing anymore. I just don't do it.
So Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and I don't want to take anything away from CQ, but he doesn't talk about these kinds of movies. He does talk. He touches on them. But the screening of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, a British slasher movie due to be released in Hong Kong this week, has been canceled for technical reasons.
Winnie the Pooh.
Movie-matic, which has organized a screening for the film for Tuesday evening, reported that the cancellation has happened on their social media page. Several other websites and media also reported the cancellation of the screenings. The movie's distributor in Hong Kong, which is something Seven Pillars Entertainment, said on their Facebook page that it was with great regret that they have to reschedule the release of the movie on March 23rd, and it has been canceled. They didn't give any further details. But I just think it's funny because, Hong Kong, China, Winnie the Pooh, and Chairman Z.
I hope he listens to our podcast. I really do. It's like
I hope he does. That'd be nice.
It's just what's that movie, The Interview, where
Chairman Z.
Like,
Chairman Z. Give us a like or a thumbs up or something, brother. Come on, man.
Yeah, like that movie, The Interview, where like that like one famous guy, what's his name? Little Kim liked, so he invited him over. I won't take an invite. You can come over here. I'll interview you. That
was the best movie because when that was released, North Korea's like, we will level your towns. We're gonna nuke you and nuke, and it was delayed for a little bit, but then it was released anyway. Like when I say it was delayed by a little bit, like it was like hours or maybe a day, and then it was released anyway. On that,
released it. I thought on that one. I thought
yes, and that was a good movie. I think I've rewatched it. There are very few movies that I'll rewatch, and The Interview is one of them because I think it's awesome. Because baby, you're a firework.
Firework. I was about to say the same thing. Baby, you're a firework.
So let's go into the movie sphere, and I really don't want to do a pop culture show, but my gosh, it kind of seems like a Blockbuster might be coming back.
Where's my wallet? I I got a Blockbuster card still. So do I get premium?
you get a special double discount. The question is popping up in the minds of moviegoers alike that appears that Blockbuster's website has been resurrected and it's active again. Please be kind while we rewind is what you'll see on mobile, while we are working on rewinding your movie is what appears on desktop. If you go to blockbuster.com, that's what it says. And I think it's pretty cool. That's what it says right there. I've got it on the screen. Blockbuster, we are working to rewind your movie.
They're trying to compete with Netflix. They're trying to come back. They're throwing their epic 20-year left hook.
So the website's been dark since the brand declared bankruptcy over a decade ago. The popular staple of the 90s and 2000s. I remember going to Blockbuster. I remember taking my kids to Blockbuster.
Yes.
It's like, we're going to go out and we're going to get some snacks. We're going to get like 3 movies and we're going to have an awesome weekend and it's going to be awesome. And my daughter would get them fucking cinnamon ass, fucking them Fireball tasting things. And I'm like, God damn it tastes like Fireball. But we'd have a great time. And we would go there, and it would just be like an adventure. The kids would pick out a movie. The adults would pick out a movie.
80s, 90s adventure right there. On a Friday night, shit was popping down. Walking to a Blockbuster. It's getting real tonight. I always like getting my video game cartridges, my NES and Super Nintendo cartridges out of there.
And it used to be all, like, and it wasn't just Blockbuster. It was other. I used to be the manager of Ram Video. I was still in high school.
All kinds of video rental.
Yeah, all kinds of. You can go and rent this. You go shop for your fucking groceries. Go to Ram Video at a jeweler Osco in Chicago, and you can rent a movie. And the next week, when you come back to do grocery shopping again, turn in your movie and rent a fucking another one. We had a great business plan. It was really awesome. But now you can't do that because everything is streaming, and then Netflix popped up. You can stream fucking everything. So I think that Blockbuster is maybe trying to make an in on streaming movies, maybe streaming music, maybe doing games. I don't know if you can do that.
I mean, can you rent? Yes.
You can rent a game. You can rent fucking Assassin's Creed for a weekend.
Well, I mean, it doesn't quite work like that.
I don't know.
I could see something like that happening, but I mean, game rental, I don't know. I think they're just going after it. Netflix has been stumbling.
We used to rent. What the fuck is that? The Wii games at Blockbuster.
Wait. Hold on. Blockbuster's still around when Wii was still a thing?
I think so. We rented something. It might have been Wii. It might have been Sega. It could have been Sega. It might have been Sega.
No, I remember like NES. Shit, I think I remember Atari games still chilling in some of the video rental places.
Atari fucking rules, man.
That was
I love Atari.
The old 2600. I think I caught one floating around. I need to fix up to get it working again, but I might have to get it.
Just take the cartridge out, blow in it, and then stick it back in. It'll work.
Yeah.
You could rent anything, and they had the adult section.
Yes.
With all the faces of death that Heath was talking about.
Faces of death. Yes. My uncle rented that one weekend for us. We were kids.
That was such a dumbass movie.
Fox's Pizza. He got us a whole big old thing of Fox's Pizza. I don't know if you've ever been up the PA area, but like they got Fox's Pizza up there. It's shit. It's like the square cut pizza or whatever it is. But sitting there eating pizza, watching Faces of Death. They used to have that what was it? The dirt bike. It was like the dirt bike guys.
That stupid fucking 32-bit bullshit game.
No, I'm talking about like the dirt bikes. Like this was actual videos of like dirt bike guys riding. They'd be like biffing out in the sand and crap, and you could see their arms breaking.
Yeah, you can just go to YouTube for that shit.
Not nowadays. Everything's censored.
So I've got a choice. We're past time, but I've got 2 stories that I would really like to say. Maybe 3. I don't know. Are you good?
Gotta pee.
How's your bladder? Your bladder's okay?
I'm about to explode right now.
Oh, damn it. Okay, go and pee. I'm going to tell this story.
All right.
Pookie's out. Kaz is in. Put a taxation as theft or something on your hootie hoo. Well, he's gone. All right. I really wanted to tell this story just because I think it's really cool. And I had never thought about this before. There's things you think about just because they're in your face, and then there's things that happen and you think about it, or a news story that you read and you think about it and you're like, well, fuck, how does that happen? So this is kind of cool. I think it's pretty cool. So for centuries, a setting sun has signaled the end of fasting rituals on holidays such as Ramadan or Yom Kippur. A cue to tuck into a delicious meal after a full day of abstaining from food or drink. But what if the sun's clockwork was to suddenly change, as it does for astronauts flying in space? The orbiting laboratory whips around the Earth at about 17,000 miles an hour, giving passengers about 16 sunrises and sunsets per day. This year, Ramadan happens between March and April 23rd, depending on the sighting of the crescent moon. So, if you're a Muslim in outer space, how do you observe Ramadan? That's an interesting question. I'm not Muslim. I had never even thought about it. So it's a question that astronaut Sultan Al-Niyadi has been contending with since his arrival at the space station on March 3rd. He is one of fewer than a dozen Muslim astronauts that have traveled in space. At the end of his mission in about 5 months, he will have been the first astronaut from the UAE to complete a long-duration stay in the floating laboratory. But as he explained, he fits the definition. He says that he fits the definition of a traveler, which excuses him from attempting to observe the Ramadan traditions at the same time as earthbound Muslims. He says we can actually break fast. He says it's not compulsory. He said fasting is not compulsory if you're not feeling well. So in that regard, anything that can jeopardize the mission or maybe put the crew at risk, we're actually allowed to eat sufficient food to prevent any escalation of starvation or nutrition or dehydration. In 2007, the first practicing Muslim astronaut stayed in the ISS. Sheikh, God, I can't pronounce these names. Sheikh Muzaffar Shukar from Malaysia consulted the Fatwa Council, and they determined that his fast can be postponed until he returned to Earth, or he could fast in accordance to the time zone from the land in which he departed. He was also relieved of his obligation to kneel while praying and facing Mecca while praying, both extraordinarily difficult tasks while hurtling through space in zero gravity at 17,000 miles an hour. Yeah, Musa Al-Zwani says you have to make it up. You have to make it up when you return back to Earth. But I think it's fascinating that fewer than 12 astronauts have gone into space, done their business, and then come back. And Ramadan happens once a year. It's a month long, ish. I just thought that was cool. I never thought about it. It's never been on the front of my mind. I just thought it was a pretty cool thing.
Speaking of Ramadan, I love the lunar calendar, the way it works. You can see like the way the moon and everything lines up. Took my mom outside. I'm not Muslim, but I know these things. And it's like, Mom, come outside and look at something real cool. And I showed her like the moon. And I think it's Venus. I really do think it's Venus or something. But it's like it was that crescent moon with. She's like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like that. I was like, yeah, every year it happens. It's the lunar calendar is amazing compared to the Julian calendar.
It's kind of funny. I label all my files in the Julian system just because it's very, very methodical.
It's efficient for our system, but
Yeah.
I think the lunar calendar is far more efficient for like our little section of the universe at that point. Because the moon will always line up at the right time, at the right day with certain things.
But I did see a story, and I think that when the media gets a hold of a story, they kind of blow it out of proportion. And the it's not a byline. It was just like the title was, "The Earth is spinning too fast and clocks aren't going to be able to keep up." So I read the story, and like in 2022, they said the Earth spun faster. And it was like, I'm like, okay. And then way down at the bottom is like, yeah, we were like 1.56 milliseconds faster than we were the last time. I'm like, oh, come on. Yes, I know what mission creep is, but I know that the Earth's rotation speeds up and it slows down. So it all balances out. So we're not going to fly into a black hole anytime soon. But you know what's happening next week, and I'm going to talk about this story next week, is we have April Fools coming up.
No.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
no.
It happens
I
every
won't-
year. It happens
I
every
won't. I won't be there.
year. So, and I've got this in the tags because I just think it's cool. And this is a just because it's cool story. Seattle's Mighty O Donuts has the perfect surprise for an unsuspecting friend, family member, or coworker on April Fool's Day.
Oop.
Our number one goal is to really just make people happy and to bring joy to their lives via donuts. I'm all about the donuts. And we're just about throwing around a few ideas with the bakery crew, and they came up with an idea just to have a turd donut. A turd donut. And I'm thinking that if you want the googly eyes, it might cost a little bit extra. But if you're in the Seattle area, will be sold in limited quantities on March 31st and April 1st at Mighty O's Donuts. So visit mightyo.com. MIGHTYO.com. You can order them online. I don't think they ship. I think this is, if you're in the Seattle area, go to Mighty O's Donuts, get a turd, pay extra, get a turd with fucking googly eyes, and have a very happy April Fool's Day. Bring them to the office.
Do they do them at Buc-ee's here?
I don't know. Moose, I'm in Texas, bro. I'm in Texas too.
Texas. I miss Texas.
I love Texas. There's a lot of shit wrong with Texas, but I love Texas. I wouldn't trade it. You know what? You know what I wish I could get rid of is the fucking traffic. The traffic here fucking sucks.
Oh, that's every big city in Texas. San Antonio, Austin, Dallas,
Holly's like,
Houston.
make your own turd donuts. Yeah, no, that's not the same. That's not the same.
I mean, it's Seattle, right? I don't know how
That's
Seattle is. Okay, it's not Portland, because Portland, you just walk around, you see turd donuts.
You can just see
laying on the
turds.
street.
You can just see real ass turds. That in San Francisco, you can just real poop on the street. All right, everybody, I guess we're going to call it. Thank you all for hanging out with us. My name is Kaz, and we do a show here every Friday night called Friday Night Freedom. I really appreciate you all being here, man. You guys are the best. So on Sunday, you can see the Sports Bar, which is the real King Smith, the actual King Smith. And Coach is going to be here talking about sports and stuff. Monday is the Monday edition with Ice talking about current events and things. Pop Culture Warrior is on Tuesday. And oh my goodness, we have a guest. And I have to turn to the correct page to talk about the guest. Tuesday on Pop Culture Warrior has Josh Keaton. He's a super talented voice actor whose career has spanned television, video games, and film work. He's even been in a boy band, so make sure that when you tune into Pop Culture Warrior, just say, hey man, weren't you in a boy band? I think it was like I I should have wrote this down. I can't think of it, but yeah, our guest was in a boy band, and Wednesday we are going to have
Tell me why.
not one of those boy bands. Well, it's one of those boy bands at the same era, same time frame, but not that one. I mean, we're talking Michael Jackson was involved, so they didn't suck. So on the Smoke Pit on Wednesday, Radar and TZ are going to have Stephanie Gata, founder and CEO of Pink Berets. She's fucking awesome, and the entire Pink Berets organization is awesome. And then Friday, Carl Whalen will be here again, and we're going to be talking about Back to Heroes Rumble. So Sergeant's Time is on Thursday. All shows are at 2000 hours Eastern Time. If we have a guest, they usually come on around 2100 hours after the break. And you got any very fine words of wisdom, Mr. Pookie?
Like I always say, don't drink, drive. Don't beat your spouse. Don't kick your dog. And taxation theft. And don't fly American. The whole hoopla. And be safe and have a great weekend.
Is that it? I was trying to type something. Sorry.
Oh, I talked too fast for you. Sorry. I turned into a robot. Sorry.
I was just typing. I love y'all. I'll see you next week. And
Timmy.
All right, everybody. You have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out. Bye. Really should turn up the music before I hit that button.
My friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong. It's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire. I said, no, what? I got my 3 kids and we bounced out. We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Let's see it.